Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition, another episode of Banish the Doubt. I'm going to hold something up here for you, and I want you to answer this question to yourself. Who did you see? Did you see a millionaire? How about a billionaire? Did you see a billionaire? Did you wake up this morning and did you see that person? Or did you see the same person that was hopping around yesterday? Who did you see? Who is the me that you see? Who is the me that you're going to be? You see, because today is June 2nd. So this year is just about half finished, half over. Let me ask you a question. Did you set up any goals on December 31st, New Year's Eve? Have you stuck to those goals? Did you even make any goals? Is 2025 now just sort of sliding into 2026 and yet another year is going to go by where nothing much has changed? Still the same. You're still that same me here, the same me that you see. That's the me that you're going to be. So who's the me that you see? Who is this self-image? What is the self-image you have of yourself? See, because that's the theme here. These few videos that I'm making. I was in the fourth grade. I looked up that way, and instinctively, our brains take us that way whenever we're thinking, we're trying to recall something. I said I was in the, and I looked up there. If you ever see somebody doing that, they're trying to recall something in their brain. So I was in the fourth grade, and I can remember like it was yesterday, sitting at the lunchroom table, long table with kids on the other side, and as kids will do at that age, we start enter into, we start listening to music and learning music, and there was no Google back then. There were no cell phones back then. So music was on the radio. It was pretty much FM and AM at that time. I'm kind of giving away my age here. So as kids would do, we started listening to or start singing songs or talking about, and I couldn't get, I either didn't get the lyrics right or I didn't get the title of the song right. And as kids at that age would do, they started mocking you, started making fun of me. So I had two choices. I could either accept it and just say, hey, that's who they are. I'm going to not let it affect me. I'm not going to let it affect the me that I see, right? But I did. Why? Because at this point in my life, this point in my life, I don't know if you can see these dashes here. This was my conscious mind, kind of still forming, but the subconscious was completely formed. And at that point, this idea I had of the song or the lyrics was being mocked by the kids. They're kids, they're fourth graders, whatever it is, that's what they do. Because why? That's what happens at their house. That's what they see. Of course, I know this now. But this information was going down into my conditioned mind, conditioning the me that I was seeing. And it's the me who I was learning how to be. Okay. So I'd go home, and my father was an alcoholic. He wasn't, stumbling drunk alcoholic or mean or nasty or abusive in a physical way. But we just learned, right? Avoid him. You start drinking, just let him go sit in his chair and just kind of drink till he gets a buzz going or beyond the buzz, and then he falls asleep, he goes to bed. So there was no connection there, emotional connection. So that also developed the me that I was seeing. And I was developing the me that I was becoming. I'm bringing this up, ladies and gentlemen, to have us understand these are the building blocks. These are the foundation blocks that help to set up who we are. And we are also understanding at that age, learning that if you say something that you don't really understand, if you believe it, or you say something that's wrong, that the outside world is going to mock you, is going to make fun of you. And unless you have a conditioned belief, a foundation made of foundation you can stand on, and these are the beliefs that are fostering this me, right? This me that says, I'm not affected by this attempts to thwart or damage my thinking. Unless we have that, we're subjected to this, and we fall prey, prey, prey to this. And another example of this is, so my son he plays on a baseball team, and you may have heard me talk about this story in the past because I feel it's so instructive, so very illustrative of how we condition someone's mind, the me that they see. So my son he was on a baseball team. He still is, but a couple of years ago, he was on a baseball team and he was pitching. And one of the boys that he recruited from his class to play, that was his first year playing. And my son was pitching, and I think he struck the boy out or whatever. But the boy, swung at a pitch. Here's why I bring this up. So my wife and I are sitting watching the game. And in front of us, the boy swings and misses. Now we're in the outfield. Everybody knows baseball. The outfield is like the furthest part from the field away from home plate. And a voice comes from down below the bleachers is, "Are you kidding me? What is this kid swinging at? Are you serious, kid? What the hell are you swinging at? Are you flipping kidding me? What are you doing?" Comes the voice. These are 11-year-old boys. That was his mom. So how is she developing the me that boy would see? The me that this boy is going to be? Well, the boy obviously now is a type of kid who lashes out at the boys, who's a lot rougher and what have you. Well, no crap, because if that's what he's getting, this is what he's going to display. I'm not good enough. I can't do things good. Whatever I do, I can't please you. And mom is just reacting because that's how she was raised. Clearly, you can't, this is the environment that she came up in. So we get older. We start finding, hey, I'm a guy, I want to ask a girl out, or a girl, I want a guy to ask me out. And then we get older, and what happens? We get into a relationship, and then the other person leaves. They break up with us, right? So now, what's going to happen? Now, you're going to take your cards, if you will, and you're going to hold them close to who you are. You're not going to reveal who you really are. You're going to be afraid to say, this is who I am, to the world. Why? Well, because when you do that, and if you say the wrong thing, just had a Skittle or something on my screen. If you say the wrong thing, right, you're going to be mocked. If you put yourself out there, right, your heart can get broken. Vulnerability. What is this image, right? What is the self-image that we are seeing? Who's the me that we see? Do we see somebody stretching outside their comfort zone and going for what they want, putting themselves out there? No. Most of us know. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, some of the most unhappy people in the world, married people. Why? Well, because they ultimately end up in a relationship where they acquiesce. There's one person that they just stay with. Why? Well, because they're afraid to be on their own, right? I mean, they don't want to venture out into that unknown. Bob Proctor talks about it as this: as we're going along in life, okay, as we're going along in our life, here we are, we're walking along our life, we're heading this way, and we come to this barrier. On this side of the barrier, freedom is freedom. Now, when I say freedom, I mean living authentically, stepping out, doing the things that you know instinctively is inside of you, that you love to do, that you want to do. But this here represents what he calls the terror barrier. And in order to get from here, which is the me, the me that I see, okay, who do I see? Do I see myself as holding myself back? Do I see myself as somebody who's not confident enough to take that step, to go through that terror barrier? I believe it was him who said, or he repeated it from somebody else, saying, the cave we fear to enter in our life holds the treasure or the freedom that we seek. It's who we are. It's the changing of the self-image. It's the aligning ourselves with that who we want to be, that who we know we are. And I had if I can find it here, bear with me one second, folks. One second, I'll be right with you. Okay. Abraham Hicks says this: how do you feel about those things that you are giving most of your attention to? If there is something in your life that gives you negative emotion, almost every time that you think about it, we would do anything that we could to get that negative thing out of our awareness. You see, because where our attention goes, energy flows. So this is why I talk about, and I keep hammering home, it's so vitally important for us to become present, to stay as present as possible. Bob Proctor years ago interviewed a lady who had attended one of his seminars, and he asked her, he says, what is it that was your goal? What is it you wanted to do? And she said, service. And not only service, she said, my service business is the biggest in the world. That was her vision. That's how what she saw. And he said, about a year after that interview, he said, because what she said was she understood to give up, she said, to give up my past. Now this is back in the 80s, I believe, early 80s, mid 80s. She was saying that she was being taught by him to give up the past, to give up, in the sense of myself, the boy, which I have, the boy sitting at the lunch table in school, to give up the young boy who um, got his heart crushed by a girl in grade school, high school, whatever, or beyond. To understand that we are so much more than that. Who we are spiritually is perfect. We cannot be hurt. Okay, we are incapable of being hurt. So give up that past, as she said. And he said about a year after that interview, she had signed a contract over in the South Pacific and other parts of Asia and around the world. And she had, at the time, the largest cleaning business in the world. But she saw it first. It was in here first. So these are what my videos aim to do, to bring awareness to who we are today. This is why I started off. Did you see yourself today waking up as a millionaire or a billionaire? Can you see yourself taking vacation now, June 2nd, coming back July 6th or 7th, and having more money in the bank when you return than when you left? It's possible. There are people out there, hundreds of people out there, more than that, who do that every single year. Take a month off, and when they return, they have more money in their bank account than when they left. The average person is just that. They're average. I'm not this video and my passion here is not to be average. We're not sent to this world, this earth, to be average. We are perfect. Money is just it's a thought. We manifest the money in our head first, and then we see it tangibly in our hands second. See, again, that lady saw her business as the biggest business in the world. You heard me talk about in the last couple of weeks about Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi and the other guys in his band all had the same in common thought, not a goal, but an idea, a thought to be the biggest band in the world. And they became that because they had one singular objective in their mind. We are the biggest band in the world. John was told by his father and voice coach in high school, yeah, we don't think so as far as his voice. And he said to them, yeah, well, I do. He wasn't allowing the outside world dictate how he saw himself, how he felt about himself. This is what drives me. It's my passion is to communicate to such a degree that you watching this, wherever you may be in this country or in this world, understand that inside of you is the greatest singer in the world. Inside of you is the person who owns the largest business, whatever it may be, in the world. Inside of you is the millionaire, is the billionaire. Inside of you is a Roger Bannister, the person that said, screw the experts. I know who I am. I'm going to break this 4-minute mile. Why? Because he did. Inside of you is a Roger Bannister. Inside of you is a David from Michelangelo. He said David was already inside all that clay. He just had to, what he say? He said, I just had to chip away the excess. The excess, ladies and gentlemen, is waking up in the morning and just doing the same bullshit you did the day before, and the day before that, the day before that, the day before that. You can see what I'm saying here. It's waking up today. It's June 2nd, going, now, well, another half a year is gone. Oh, well, it's going to be 2025 soon, or 20, whatever. I really could give a flying, about what day it is and what year it is, whatever. Because my objective is I have the largest YouTube video channel in the world. I have 1 million subscribers. I'm not going to get 1 million. I have it. I've affected the lives of 1 million people around this world positively, helping them through one video at a time, one thought process at a time, to change the consciousness of the people, to change the self-image that people have, to change the self-image that society says, this is what you have to have. You have to get the safe, secure job like my father and ones before him. How many others? To give up on your dream. There is no dream. There is no inside what I want to do in my life. No. You give all that up. You become beholden to the state, to the system. The system will carry you, and you'll do everything the system tells you to do. You'll work these many hours per week. You will only take vacation this time during the year. You will get paid this much money. We're going to take this much money out. We're going to put it over here into an account, and you can't touch that until you retire. We will tell you when it's time for you to retire. If you want that, fine. Go ahead. You want that? That's fine. But then you can't complain later on saying, I was never fulfilled. I never did whatever I wanted to do, what I knew inside of me, who I was. See, that's the freedom I'm talking about. When you break through that terror barrier I talked about and see on the other side of that terror barrier is freedom. Not freedom as far as what America, the country of America talks about. That's bullshit. That's not freedom. Freedom is to wake up in the morning and saying, I am living I am authentic. I am who I am. I'm speaking my truth every single day. I am who I am. I will say the things I want to say. I will act in the way that I want to act. That is true to who I am. I will act in a way, in a service oriented way. And knowing who I am and knowing where I'm going and knowing what I have and how this body is and this mind is, I can't but not help other people. Because of who I am, others are going to gravitate towards me and say, hey, what are you doing? How can you help me? Or whatever. See, because understand this, you don't you don't help any other people by doing what you do for them. You do what you do for you. You live your life holistically and authentically yourself, and then they come to you. You draw them to you, and who you are speaks so loudly. What does it say? They're saying, "You speak who you are speaks so loudly. I can't hear what you're saying." You don't talk about what you're going to do. You just do it. You live your life in this lane. Okay, you get away from the bullshit gossiping about other people and other things. That's for losers. Okay, losers, I heard it say professionals create, amateurs compete. Write that down. Write that down and put it somewhere you see it every single day. Professionals create, amateurs compete. Amateurs get caught up in gossip. Amateurs are, I have to put that person down through gossiping to make me feel better. That's childish. That's immature. That's a loser's way of looking at life. A winner, a professional, creates. Who do they create? Themselves. They look inside, they read the books, they watch the videos, they listen, they attend on YouTube or whatever seminars, and they learn about what makes this tick. What is it about what's going on in here that is keeping me, who, if I look at myself, I'm physically fit, I'm in great shape, I am perfect health. So then why the flying F am I not a billionaire? Why not? If this country spends trillions of dollars, be a billionaire. Do something. Do it here first. Learn here first. Change this image here first. And how do we do that? We do that by becoming present, by listening to and meditating and hearing what's going on. Getting this idea, okay, what I talked about yesterday, getting this idea, getting this idea in our conscious mind, our rational mind, okay, and then we see it, we write it down. You heard me talk about this yesterday. You write it down in present tense. I am. I am so thankful and grateful now that you fill in the rest, ladies and gentlemen. But you are now. This is who you are now. And you do this over and over and over again. You know, you'll never see an adult put their foot inside of a sleeve of a shirt, right? But a child will. You'll never see an adult put their pants on over their head, attempt to put them on. But a child will, right? A child will gossip about other people. Adults, professionals do not. This is what I'm talking about. When you do something so often, you just put your pants on without thinking about it. You just put your shirt on without thinking about it. You drive from point A to point B without actually thinking about it. This is a professional. This is a person who's done something so many times in their own head, thinking about how they can better themselves, and by bettering themselves, they better the world. This is what I'm talking about as a professional. Be a professional in your life. Live your life as a professional. Disciplined, organized, living your truth. Organize this first, and everything else will organize around it. Because if out here is a mess, I can guarantee you with 100% accuracy, this is a mess. Because if this is not a mess, this can't be a mess. Because as a professional, as a person who has this self image, you don't you don't see anything other than order and discipline and focusing on who you are. Discipline yourself to wake up in the morning. Wake up early in the morning when nobody else is awake, when the rest of the world is asleep, and you sit and you write down who you are. You write down who you are right now. What's today going to be like? This is how we change today from being a lot like yesterday. Although yesterday is a lot like today, if today is like that and tomorrow is like that. And as you do this, ladies and gentlemen, you will start to notice serendipity start showing up in your life. People are going to, I promise you this, people, because they've been showing up in my life. All of a sudden, there's somebody else that just sort of appeared. I did it. I cleared out the crap in my mind so much that that person just appears. Okay, just boop, there they are. And they're all the time. I can now see them because I've cleared the clutter from my mind. Okay. This is how we do that. If I can find it here. This is how we change the me that I see is the me I will be. This is how we do that. We get around. See, the other thing I want to talk to you about is very important that goes along with this, okay, is a study that was done by Stanford University Medical Center, okay? It was a study. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but it was a study of twins. And it showed that our environment, more than our heredity, plays the starring role in determining the state of our immune system, the body's primary defense against disease. Now think about this. Tension hires, relaxation rests and restores. But it's, you heard it say, from the medical center at Stanford, it is our environment. What are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with images of who you want to be, who you are now? Is it maybe of somebody who is, you see yourself as 20 or 30 pounds lighter? You see yourself in that holistic, in the relationship that is no longer toxic or dysfunctional. You see yourself away from a narcissistic, abusive relationship. You see yourself as a sober person. And when I say sober, I'm not necessarily talking about alcohol and drugs, because a lot of people are addicted to, and this was myself, addicted to the rush of adrenaline from just barely being on time for things, not being able to pay their bills on time. You see, we get a rush of adrenaline when we're just barely making the payment on time. We're making the payment the same day it is due. Professionals don't do that. We are dry. And when I mean dry, I mean we're no longer we're no longer involved with or seduced by the rush of adrenaline. We're no longer saturated. That's the word I'm looking for. We're no longer saturated in the adrenaline rush. We're not the people who are people who have to tell you that, hey, the party starts at 1 when it really starts at 3 and you're barely making it on time. There's an adrenaline rush with that. There is a look at me ego. The ego wants, look, everybody look at me, look at me. Yep, here I am. I'm late. Everybody's here already. So now everybody gets a chance to look at me. That's ego. And people try to, it's bullshit. What any kind of excuse you give is bullshit. It's all about ego. It's all about the adrenaline rush. This is the me that you see. Okay? That's the addicted person. Addicted to the adrenaline rush. Addicted to the ego. Everybody has to look at me. I am me. I am me. The me you see that is organized, disciplined, that's the person. Ultimately, and you get around the environment of people who are like that, and Stanford University Medical Center said it. It changes us on a DNA level. it changes who we are. We become a healthier person here, and then the rest of us here are healthy. When this is healthy, everything else is healthy. When this is organized, everything else is organized. When this is disciplined, everything else in life is disciplined. And when that happens, ladies and gentlemen, when somebody asks you, the me I see, millionaire, billionaire, person who is going on vacation June 2nd, coming back July 6th, and I have more money in my account than when I left. Because the me that I see is the me that I am right here and right now. This is where it starts. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this. If you have any comments, feel free to share them down below. I'm going to start instituting a coaching opportunity on my website. So if any of you guys are interested in a coaching opportunity, leave a comment down below, and give me a heads up on that, because I want to start offering that to some subscribers here. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you like these videos, I just tell you to watch them over and over again, because as you do, something will start to click inside. You'll hear something that I said that you didn't hear, or you heard the first time, but it really didn't click. Okay, and this is how we change the me that I see, because each one of you, the me that you see, absolutely is a billionaire, is a millionaire, is the Roger Bannister, is the David from the Michelangelo sculptures, okay? Is the Van Gogh painting. Remember, Van Gogh said, I dreamt the painting and then I painted my dream. Start to paint your dream. You dream yourself as the millionaire or billionaire and start to paint that dream. If you like what you saw today, give us a thumbs up. Share this content with others around the world, anybody else, because the more people we see this, ladies and gentlemen, I say it all the time, one video at a time, we heal and we change the me that the world sees. Thank you so much, and God bless.